Good afternoon and welcome to the Bob and Barry live preview show for Monday, May 2nd, 2022. A lot of twos in there. Everyone, please say hello to my co-host, Mr. Barry Cummins.
Hey everybody, glad to be with you today from Northwest Alabama where it's 84 degrees, partly cloudy with rain showers moving into the area. Hope you've had a great weekend, Bob.
Yeah, busy weekend for me. We had a lot of stuff going on. Worked outside quite a bit yesterday, a little tired from it. Had to get some stuff done. We had storms roll through this morning, got about 2.5 inches of rain in less than an hour and a half there, I believe it was. And today's overcast, cloudy, a little bit of wind, chance for rain for the next few days. So we need it really bad, so we can't complain. How about you, Barry?
Doing great. Had a family reunion on my mother's side this weekend. It's cemetery decoration week there where she's buried at. And me and my daughter, we had some good quality time with my family on my mom's side. And man, eat so much, I give myself a backache. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep that physique.
Absolutely. Got to
continuously
work on the Santa bod.
Jolly round. That's right. That's for sure. It was a big weekend for close to 600 folks. Went to the International Santa celebration over in Atlanta. Lots of great pictures came out of there. I think the highlight for me for the weekend that I most enjoyed was seeing the reindeer games with Michael Howell, Michael Bauer, and Mitchell Allen. I laughed and laughed and laughed till I had a side ache. So that looked like a lot of fun. I guess if you're into eggs, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw a couple of scary pictures of men in dresses and everything, and I sure was hoping they wasn't going to bend over and pick up $1.
Oh, yeah. We saw that too. That was fun. Lots of great workshops, lots of friends made, old friends coming together, lots of time to learn and share ideas. So I'm sure it was a fantastic weekend. Wasn't able to go this year. I did have a ticket, but wasn't able to make it. 4 years ago when the tickets first went on sale, I purchased mine and I got our plane tickets. So after they canceled the first time, we was able to cancel our plane tickets without any penalty. So that was nice. Did miss going. I enjoyed going to the Denver 2018 ISC. It was a lot of fun. And so I'm glad folks that went are tired today. I'm sure that today will be a day of leisure for a lot of them. A few may still be traveling back home. I'm not real sure. Looks like we've got a pretty good crowd showing up. Let's say hello to those in the right-hand column over, Barry.
Hey, Bob and Beth, Mark and Jeff and Eric and Moesha and Ben, Santa Tom. Glad to have y'all with us today.
That's correct. Mentioning Bob and Beth, I'm sure many of you have seen Bob's post on Beth's medical condition. At this time, we would like to do something special right here. I'm going to turn the floor over to Barry.
All right, let's pray for Beth real quick, if you don't mind. And Bob, dear Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for many blessings. And I thank you for our brothers and sisters in red. And right now, just lift up Beth to you, Lord, and the health issues she has going on. I pray that you just be with the doctors and nurses as they diagnose everything. And I pray that they're able to treat her with a successful outcome, Father, and just give Bob strength and encourage him and be with the family. We pray for healing in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And we'll continue to pray for Beth. Got to know Beth and Bob really well over the course of a number of years, and just talked to Bob. I believe it was less than 10 days ago, and he had shared with me then that Beth wasn't doing real well. Anytime you go in to have surgery, there's always a chance of something not going exactly as planned. And, you go in with high hopes. Sometimes you come out disappointed, but we will continue to pray for Beth. Hang in there, Bob. We love you, brother. Love Beth. Send Beth our love.
Yeah, and any way we can be praying for you, you reach out to us and we'll be sending them up for you. I guarantee you, anybody in our group, you need prayer, you let me know.
That's true.
On the list, and we'll send it up for you.
Very true. So I guess at this time, let's go ahead and do our SantaClausette.org trivia question. So we'll be right back on the other side of this.
Thank you, Tom Quartermillier, for your sponsorship. And the winner's going to get this nice Santa key ring. And Tom's been good to send out some other little goodies along with that. Thank you for santascloset.com or .org for your sponsorship. And the question is, in the movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what store does Clark crash land his saucer in front of? In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what store does Clark crash land his saucer in front of? And good luck on those answers.
That's correct. And as always, remember that if you've won in the last 30 days, you're in timeout. And way we can rotate and give everyone a chance. Tom and Janice was over at the ISC this weekend. Looked like they had lots of great vendors there. Lots of folks that was in and out of the vendors' rooms and the common area where they had some vendors set up. Like a great time. I hope everyone did really well and it was worth their time as far as the vendors go. We want to thank Tom, as we always do, for everything that him and Janice has done, not only for our show, but for me and my family personally.
Yeah, a good thing about the ISC 2024 is going to be in Memphis, Tennessee, right there in the Mid-South. So it'll be nice. That's
right. They announced that this weekend, as they always do, at the ISC for the upcoming event 2 years from now. That's 2024. Be basically the same dates with a day or two difference because of the calendar. But looking forward to that one. They've already got the host hotel chosen. That went into the work several years ago. They're always working 2 to 3, sometimes 4 years out on the next event. And so they had already had that within the corporation. At the time, I was still within my membership committee and regional rep position, and I've known of it and excited that it's coming to Memphis. That's going to be a fantastic location right there in the heart of the country. For those on the West Coast, doesn't have to travel all the way to the East Coast like they did this year. It'll be an event that I expect to grow. I know there was 430 some odd in Denver in 2018, almost 600 this time around, and who knows, it may grow to 750, 800 this next time. So as soon as tickets go on sale, be sure and reach out and get yours. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, I was crew based in Memphis for several years when I flew from Northwest. So I know that pretty good.
All right, looks like we got some good answers coming in. As always, we will announce the correct answer. And I know last week I forgot to do it. I don't know why. I have trouble on Mondays remembering because we don't actually go by a script on Mondays. This is all just ad lib. And without a note in front of me, sometimes I forget, but I promise I'll remember to give you the correct answer this afternoon before we get off the show. And, of course, we'll announce the winners either late this afternoon or sometimes tomorrow on Sat Bob's Live.
Eric Elliott, I thought about you Saturday night, buddy, watching the New Orleans Breakers and Birmingham Stallions game. So the Stallions come out on top there.
I keep missing some of those games. They're on a couple of times a week, and just so happens I'm busy at that time. And Bob says, thank you for your prayers. We'll be moving. Put that back up, please, Angela. Riverview Rehab in Bossier have a doctor that sings Christmas carols to Beth. That's correct. Bob had said that in his postings that he put out on all the major groups yesterday. I think that's so wonderful to recognize that that would bring her some joy and be able to kind of ease her frame of mind, maybe you might say, with a little bit of Christmas carols. Fantastic. We love that. All right. What else we got, Barry?
Well, we got an extension on the Sat Bob's class coming to Mount Juliet, Tennessee. The hotel has extended our deadline till Friday.
One more week.
So let us know if you're interested in that so we can make that class a go.
And
Be a
that is
holiday.
the absolute final date on it. They were kind enough to let us run one more week with it. And, we're right there. We're really close. We just had a couple more sign up. That puts us in break even territory. Nobody wants to lose money, as I've said before. Barry doesn't have travel as far as I do. I'm over here in Dallas, Texas. He's in Northwest Alabama. So, but it still costs. Gas prices are up. Hotel rooms are up. Meeting room space is up. Everything is more expensive in 2022 than it was just 6 months or even a year ago. And nobody wants to lose money. So all we're asking for is just, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about coming, we promise we're going to give you a great class. We got a fantastic lineup of special presenters with great what am I trying to say here? Workshops, exactly. Thank you, Barry. Workshops set up for you with great topics. That was the other thing. You want to tell them about our special guest that we'll have at that class if it makes a go?
Yeah, we're going to have Jim Enos there with the Reindeer Retreat. He'll be teaching us about all things reindeer. He has a giant reindeer farm over in the Smoky Mountains, and he does a lot of speaking around for the groups that has reindeer, so he's very knowledgeable. We're going to have Mr. Bruce Templeton with us. He's a 2014 Santa Claus Hall of Fame inductee. He has several books out. He's going to be teaching a workshop. Got Michael Hull and Michael Byer that's going to be doing stuff on virtual visits. Derek Dugan, he's going to share about marketing, and Randall Wagner about performance. And of course, we'll have Mitch Allen with us on Zoom, and probably Gina from Nationwide. So it'll be a great class.
Those are all heavy, hard hitters right there. Great workshops that we've got lined up. Again, Mr. Enos, let's talk about him for just a moment. Now, I believe he told us that he was the president of the Reindeer Association. Was that correct?
Yes.
And so he is the one that is the head honcho in charge at this point. I understand, too, that there's a lot of reindeer farms that have popped up in the last 10 or 12 years in North America. And he actually works with each individual reindeer farm and helps them put together their presentations. So he should be very knowledgeable and will be a fantastic class. If you haven't ever been to a reindeer farm or interacted with a reindeer or even learned little known facts about reindeers, he's going to be there to tell us about that. Now, we won't have any reindeer there. It's going to be too hot by the time the class comes around, and they don't travel well in the heat, so won't have any there. But he'll have a great presentation to give us.
He should have several sets of antlers with him too, to we can demonstrate stuff with. It'd be really nice.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so at this point, we want to mention something here. I don't see Santa Mel on today, but we do want to mention she was the recipient of the first annual Daisy May Memorial Scholarship Fund for the School of Santas, and she sent out, I don't know how well you can see this, but it's just a envelope and a fantastic little card that she sent us, thanking us again. She's thanked us personally, publicly, and now even with a card. Takes time to do this. This is super special. This really touched my heart and put a big smile on my face. Thank you, Santa Mel, for the card. Thank you for the kind words.
Thank you, Santa Mel. And Scott, we're not sure yet, buddy. We don't have the minimum for the class yet.
We're just a couple short. We've got boots on the ground that's working really hard over there. And again, we'll know something by the next few days, hopefully. I know we're right down to almost to the class time. We're less than 2 weeks away now at this point. And we don't like to cut it this close. It's hard for us to prepare, get everything ready, and be on our game. So we're hoping that someone, like I said, that may be on the fence, or someone who hasn't been on Facebook much that happens to pop up. It's funny because it seems like every class we have within a month's time of the class being done and over with, someone will write me or send me a private message or even comment underneath the old posting about that particular school. Well, if I had seen this in time, I would have came, or if I'd known that y'all were doing this, I would have been there. And for us, we don't have any fancy marketing tools that we use. We just go on Facebook. Facebook is our tool. We try to reach out to as many folks as we can. I've got several thousand friends. Barry's got several thousand. I'm sure the majority of them are the same. But, the most we can do is just put it out there. And we could use a little bit of help from some of you guys that maybe if you know someone new or someone who has mentioned in a casual conversation with yourself that they'd be interested in going to a school, we would love for them to think about coming to our class and see what we got to offer. We've had some great compliments from those who took the class this last go around here in Garland. Eric and Moesha have spoke highly of what they learned and what they took away from the class. Again, our first book, the business book, is really geared towards the new Santa, the Santa and Mrs. Claus that's coming in the industry. They have no clue where to get started. I know I was in those same shoes. When I first started, I knew what I wanted to do, but I had no idea of how to really get started and what it was going to take to set up the business end of it, even though I'd been in business before, and there's a lot of things that cross over from any business that's, business minded. But let's say Rex,
14 students, Rex.
we have to have 14 just to pay for mine and Barry's travel over and back. And that's not making any time you figure in your books, your hotel rooms, your food, your gas. That's all we're asking for. It's just, give us enough to get over and do the class. And we're happy with that, and there's only been a couple of classes out of the last 7 years that I've actually even made very much off of it all. It's usually very slim to none. We lost on the Oklahoma City class. We hate to say that, but we did. But we put on a fantastic class there. We had a lot of stuff that we hadn't done before, and we learned some things, learned how to trim back and still give the same great advanced class without going overboard on our end with the hotel room and the meeting room and that sort of thing.
Bruce says, and pay my outrageous free fees.
That's correct. None of the presenters that we have on any of our schools are paid. They do this on their own because they love to teach, they love to share, and out of the graciousness of their hearts, they just come forth and help. And that's a tremendous asset to be able to take your time and put together a presentation and then, go forth with it for our class and do it for nothing. You do it out of your heart. And you know what? Sat Bob's is very grateful. Me and Barry are very grateful. We love the fact that others are willing to just come in and do a special presentation, because that is one of the highlights of every class we do since we started adding presenters. First, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, we really didn't have any presenters. It was Gordon doing most of the classes. I came in and started doing, 2 or 3 classes a year, and we pretty much stuck to the books. And then we realized the value of having folks who are willing to come in and share. And it's been a great asset for us.
Yeah, one reason we need to know ahead of time, too, is because our class, we have 4 textbooks that you get when you take our course. It's 1,050 pages of knowledge, and, they're printed on demand at Amazon. So it takes a couple of weeks to get those books, and we just don't have stacks of books we keep in stock.
No, those cost money, and we order them as we need them. We get them right off Amazon like everybody else does. Bruce, you have the best point of all. That is absolutely, you hit the nail right on the head. We all owe it to the future. We pay it forward. For me, ever since I had such great help coming into the industry, and even now with this show, the folks that contribute week in, week out, like Bruce Templeton and some of our special guests that we have, that's what this is all about, is paying it forward, being able to help the new guys. Eric and Moesha, a great example of that. Fantastic couple. They have the heart of gold, and I go out of my way to do anything and everything I can to help anyone, but especially the new folks who are, as I started saying earlier, just lost. You really don't know where to begin. And, I know after I took Tim Conahan's class my second year as a professional, it upped my game so much, and I tripled what I made that first year, just more or less because of the tools that he laid out in front of us, and then you've got to take and implement those tools and put those game plans forward. But I left that class with so much confidence, knowing that now I knew which direction I wanted to go and what it was going to take to get there.
Absolutely. But I look forward to it. Hopefully it'll be a go, and we'll have some great knowledge given over the weekend.
Yes, for sure. We all undervalue what we do. Great point again, Bruce, but that is so true. Scott says, I was blessed this week with an awesome and touching thank you card. Very good, Scott. That was from Santa Mel, I'm sure. She is, again, a woman with a gigantic heart. She is just so thankful for the opportunity to go to the School of Santas in Branson, and it's going to be a great time, great learning experience. Another school that if you get a chance to go, if you have the money or you have the time, get out, reach out, and come to that class in Branson. We enjoy it every year. Going to an in-person class is so much more valuable than an online class. The fellow students are the best. That's absolutely right, Ben. Of course, thank you, Ben, again for all you done for Gordon Bailey's class there in Ohio. You was the boots on the ground. You was the one that instrumented putting that plan forward. And again, nobody knows their area better than those that live in that area. For us as outsiders, we're not sure what the best part of town is or where the best hotel with the best eateries or, just resources in general. And that's why it's important to always have someone on the ground, as we do for the Nashville Middle Tennessee class each year that we've been over there, which has been 3 different times now. We couldn't have done it without the help. Can't do any of these classes without help. We're just the ones that stand up in front of the class and kind of point our finger and try to answer the questions and give you the best curriculum that we can.
Bob, you want to tell them who you're going to have on the class tomorrow, or the Tuesday night live show with you tomorrow night?
Yeah, sure. Well, let me address Ben's comment there real quick. That's kind of funny. We even had students from that state up north, and that kind of become a rivalry between the MAPS group and the Ohio group. And I think that was a good thing because that also helped people get off the fence and decide they wanted to come and do that Ohio class. All right, so tomorrow night's show, we're going to be minus Barry tomorrow night. So Barry has another very important thing that he has to go do tomorrow night. So he will not be on the show. It'll be me, and tomorrow night's guest will be Becky and Ruby from Cherry Hill Programs. I know we've had those ladies on several times last year. We try to have the agents in and share some of these jobs that are out there. I know that most of us already have plans for for each year. For me, I do work for Cherry Hill the last 3 years as a mall Santa, and they've already reached out to me to start the process of getting me signed up for this year. I've been busy, haven't gotten that taken care of yet, but working on it. And there's guys who wasn't happy with either what they made last year or where they were working at, or they just decided, like me, after 2 years of doing independent work, home visits, schools, HOAs, those sort of things, family home visits, I decided that if I kept on the path I was on, that I was going to build up such a clientele, I wouldn't want to walk away from that clientele. So I decided in my 3rd season that I wanted to try a mall. It was just something I've always wanted to do. Some guys do, some guys don't. It's your personal preference. But I knew in the back of my mind, I always wanted to try that and see what it was all about. And something, again, that Tim Conahan said in class that reverberated with me was the hours that you get in a major chair setting, be it one of the big box stores or at a mall. It takes you numerous years of doing home visits and other sorts of independent work to gain the same amount of hours and knowledge that you gain as a mall Santa. Yeah, you're thrown into the fire. In the beginning of the season, it's a little slow paced, but then once you start getting closer to the Christmas season, 2.5 weeks out, it really becomes very hectic, very fast paced. And, it's something that a lot of guys don't like. They don't care for. For me, I enjoy the slow times. I enjoy the busy times. They're different, but they both have their value. So again, I knew that I wanted to try the mall deal. So I jumped in, said, well, if I don't like it, I don't have to go back. My first year was a terrible season, probably the worst season for me as far as the management on set that I had that year almost turned me away. I almost decided that was it. I didn't want to do it again. I thought, I'm going to give it one more year and see, because I knew I had a new, set manager and assistant manager coming in for that second season, and turned out to be a blessing. And I've been there now. This will be my 10th year at that mall. So just can't walk away from it. I built up clientele there, people who come to see me year in and year out. 70% of my clientele is repeat customers. They come year in and year out. I love it because I get to see the children grow up. It's a relationship that I build with those children and their families. The pictures, they come back with pictures on their phone or the printouts, or say, we've been coming to see you now for 6 years or 7 years, and these are the photos. It's interesting to see how the children have grown. It's also interesting to see how much I have changed in my look and refined what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, malls are not for everybody. Some people prefers to do home visits more than the high volume chairs. So it's just whatever, that you're into. But, our classes do help on both sides there. Teach you how to do, every visit you can do.
That's right. That's one thing. We are not just a mall Santa school. We teach it all. Now, me having the experience of the big chair, then I share that expertise. We have others that talk about the home visits. We had Doug Wright come in for the Garland class and did an 1.5-hour presentation on how to make home visits special. And it was a fantastic presentation that he had, and everyone in the class really took something from it. Bruce, that's a good point. At the mall, if I could set up that two-way communication with one of my set crews. But for me at my mall, I usually only have a manager and one other person working during the day. And then when it gets really hectic down to the end of the season, we have a full crew in every day, but everyone is assigned a job, and I just don't have anybody that can stand over there and talk to the children and parents as they come in and get that information. But that Secret Santa, Stephen Gillum has used for years, him and Deb, with the two-way communication that really makes Santa look smart, and it's a really great way to enhance and give a better visit by having that two-way communication. Let's see here. What was that on Ben Bellhorn? He wanted to congratulate someone. Carol Baker on winning the first Ohio Santa's raffle. She won a fleece jacket from Roberta Wells Design. Roberta Wells and Wade down in San Antonio, Texas, took my Garland class a few years back, and they have really become a fantastic Santa Mrs. Claus, and do fantastic work with their apparel company that they do now, embroidery work and things of that nature.
And guys, if you have questions tomorrow night for Ruby and Becky and, Bob on the mall work and what they have, be writing them down. And like I say, I'm going to be at my daughter's band recital. They have a concert tomorrow night, so Bob will be working solo tomorrow night. So if you do have some questions, just write them down and get them to them. And they'll get them answered, because I know there's a lot of chairs open right now. All the agents are trying to fill them. Seemed like earlier than last year.
Yes, for sure. Scott Martin says Doug was awesome, and also Barry's presentation. Yeah, Barry's sleigh and reindeer flight presentation is fantastic. We've never seen that. Something he does for all of our classes. He zoomed in and did it for simultaneously for Garland and Ohio classes at the same time, which was a first for us. and was fantastic. Greg Swick, yes, that is Smart Santa is what that's called, and I think that's a term that's coined by Deb and Mr. Santa himself. John McLeod, hello from Florida. Hey, brother, how you doing down there in the southern warm section of the country?
Good to see all you that's joined us late. Hope y'all having a great start to your week.
Yes, I know John was at the ISC this last weekend, so he's probably trying to get his legs back under him today. Scott Parker says he'll work for Becky someday. She is holding me on that promise. Yeah, Scott worked for Becky in the past and has a great relationship with Becky Gilstrap, that is. Yes, John, I figure it is hot. It's been hot here. We're, a matter of fact, today we're supposed to be up in the upper 80s, but it's real humid today. We had a cool front move through yesterday morning, which kicked back the humidity, and it was a fairly pleasant through the mid-afternoon yesterday, and then that cool front that passed through back up over us as a warm front, and been hot and muggy ever since.
I'll give you a little tip on sleigh and reindeer performance and flying when you're out practicing those takeoff and landings in the sleigh. High altitude, hot, humid conditions equals less sleigh and reindeer performance. So it'll increase. You'll have an increase in takeoff distance when it's high, hot, and humid.
And for me, with the racing background, that also goes for performance engines. Same way, the cooler, drier the air, the more horsepower you build, the more humidity, the harder it is to force that moisture through the engine burn efficiently, and it just holds back the horsepower. Of course, in drag racing, you see the guys that use the altimeters, which tells you what at the point that you're at, be it Denver or be it Death Valley days, it tells you what the altitude and moisture level is. That's how they tune their engines.
All right, again, tomorrow night, special guest on the Tuesday night live show is Cherry Hill Productions, Becky and Ruby. There'll be agents talking with Bob. Some of our upcoming shows the following week, we got Ellen Turpin and Mrs. Claus. Then May 17th, I'm going to be the guest. I'll get grilled by Bob. Probably some jokes thrown in there, a time or two. May 24th, we have Roger Minton. And to close out May 31st, we got Bob. So he'll have to be nice or I'll pay him back on the 31st.
Doggone, that's the bad part about going second, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Scott, blowers do help, although you're still squeezing the moisture and the air together at a higher rate with a blower that's force feeding that engine. But that moisture still got to go somewhere, and it doesn't detonate as easy as dry air with lots of fuel. So either way, though, if you're a good engine tuner, you can work your way around that and still get maximum horsepower out of your engins.
You mean reindeer power, right?
So Tom mentioned alcohol. That's true, especially in dirt racing. Most of your classes run either aviation fuel, which is, as Barry can tell you, 108 plus in octane, or a mixture of alcohol, which is what we ran in the cars that I raced. And then some of the guys even add in other stuff. Sometimes it's a no-no, but they nitromethane. But I love the smell of alcohol. Just don't like the way it makes your eyes burn.
You mean the kind that's in engines, right?
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we've covered everything pretty well. Is there anything we forgot other than the trivia question answer? Okay, so National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what store does Clark crash land his saucer in front of? Now, let's kind of tell a little backstory of that, because I'm pretty sure everybody's seen that movie. But, Clark works for a company, and he's developing this new high-tech spray that's supposed to really be slick and So he puts it on his saucer that is a round disc that you slide down a snowy hill bank. And he puts it on there, and the next thing you know, he's flying down this hill, and he's going, and he's going, and he's going, and he crash lands in a Walmart parking lot right in front of Walmart. So Walmart is the answer. We'll find out who has the correct answer on that first is through time stamp on the comment, and we will post that over on Sat Bob's Live. And we're kind of sticking with the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation for tomorrow night's show, too. Ran across the website, had a ton of great questions on there, trivia questions. So I'm picking a few of my favorites out. We'll use that. Maybe we'll switch up next week, go to something different.
Sounds good. Right. Wednesday, we got a special day coming up. It's May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And some people's not going to get this joke right here, but maybe they will.
You're confused.
Yep, Angela says you're confused.
She got it. She got it.
Greg.
And I'm not a Trekkie.
And she's not a Trekkie. Greg, Tim Allen says you need the Benford 2000 turbocharged sleigh-powered motor. Yes, sir. He does, doesn't he? Aviation fuel is high octane, slow burning. Yes, it is. And for us, my home track was the world famous Devil's Bow Speedway. It's a high bank, half mile on the bottom, 5/8 of a mile on top. Circle track that's been out since the early 70s. They were first over in another location. The homes built up around it. City council asked them to move. They moved out of the country. Now there's subdivisions all around it again. But there's the Mesquite Airport runs directly behind the racetrack. So we would stop at the airport each week, fill our fuel jugs up, and when I was running airplane fuel, and that was in the stock cars and stuff that I was running. But and it has a distinct smell too. And then of course later on in my career, I picked up a good friend of mine that owned a hot rod shop, Harry's Hot Rod here in Dallas, and he sponsored us on aviation fuel in the barrel, and it was 110, 112 octane. So it was really up there. All right, let's see. Any other comments over here that we need to talk about? Let's see. The sleigh falls under FAR Part 103 and is a legal ultralight. Cool comment.
Yeah, Bart, I'm thinking Santa's sleigh is going to have to be a heavy transport type deal, as many toys as we take off with.
Sure, tell you what, the magic bag refills itself. There's still a load on there.
But you know, Santa does have to have a special waiver by the FAA because, as per the FARs, you cannot operate an aircraft at greater than 250 knots below 10,000 feet. So, you know, to make all the deliveries, Santa has to have that special waiver, and he has to have special equipment on board the sleigh.
All right. Any other last questions, comments? You want to throw them in right now? We're fixing to cut the show off here if we don't have anything else. We've gone longer than normal today, but we've been having fun. And as long as we have folks over here throwing up comments and stuff at us, yeah, maybe Elon Musk will build us one. I don't know how many of you saw the little joke I put up on Sat Bob's Live about Elon Musk wanting to finance the Bob and Barry show, but some folks took that as a real deal. You know, they say if it's on Facebook, it's got to be true.
We'd love to be giving out Teslas for the trivia question answers, but you know,
that would be super cool. Yeah, Rex has got a great point there, especially on a return flight after all the cookie is definitely heavy. Rex, also, brother, we hope that you're feeling better today. For those who don't know, Rex took a tumble leaving the hotel yesterday at the ISE. I'm sure that trip home last night was a rough one, and we just hope that the ibuprofen or whatever it is that you're taking, and ice bags and possibly heating pad at the same time, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off, has helped you, brother. That you know, at our age, footing is so important, and the least little thing can trip us up. Just don't have the balance we used to have in our younger days. But anyway, well wishes to you, Rex. Hope you're feeling better today. All right. Okay. Long live and prosper. the sign you showed means? You got a Facebook user wants to know.
That's what Spock from Star Trek says, and May the 4th is Star Wars Day.
That's
They
correct. So
got
that
the
was a
Star
little
Wars shirt on. So I was just making a joke about May the 4th be with you. Some got it though. It's good.
Yeah, some did, some didn't. So, all right, guys, we're going to cut this off here then. Barry, tell them why we do this.
We do this because we care. God bless you. And we'll see you. Bob will see you tomorrow night, and I'll see you the following Monday. So I hope y'all have a good week. Take
That's
us out
correct.
of here, Bob.
That's correct. And want to thank everyone for joining us today. See you tomorrow night. As always, the Bob and Barry Show, 3 p.m. on Mondays, the Tuesday Night Live Show, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. And thank you so much. God bless. And we'll see you next time.